Okay, just for a second, I want you to imagine something. We're in this place of deep, deep silence, and the only sound you can hear is this low, crackling fire. We're looking at an altar, but it's not just made of stone, it's made of pure cosmic potential. And the embers inside it, they're not just burning, they're almost breathing, glowing with this incredible latent power, just waiting for the whole process to kick off. And from these embers, the very first signal starts to emerge, but it's not a sound, it's a visual, a silent kind of communication. Smoke begins to rise. And look, it's not just billowing all over the place, it's climbing in these perfect, deliberate spirals. You have to understand, this isn't just smoke. This is a transmission. It's like a bridge being built right before our eyes, between worlds, carrying this refined essence straight up. And then, the engine starts. Right from the base of the altar, a totally new flame just awakens. And it's not the orange you'd see at a campfire, not at all. This is a deep, powerful, almost blue-black fire. This is a consuming flame, a force of just immense power and precision. It's not designed to just burn stuff. It's designed to deconstruct, to process, to completely transform.
So welcome. We're about to dive into one of the most profound secrets in the entire Zohar, the mystical technology of the Korban, or what we call the sacrifice. We're going to decode what the ancients knew, not as some primitive ritual, but as an incredibly sophisticated piece of cosmic engineering. One designed for a single purpose, to unify heaven and earth.
So, here's our roadmap for the journey. First, we'll look at the fundamental cosmic problem this altar was built to solve. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty mechanics of how smoke and flame actually create this unification. After that, we'll meet the human operators. Yep, it needs operators. And finally, we'll translate this whole ancient process into modern terms that you can actually use today.
Right, so to really get the how of this ancient technology, we have to start with the why. See, the universe, at its most basic level, has these two primary opposing forces. The whole point of the sacrifice isn't about appeasing an angry god or something. It's a mechanism, a tool, designed to heal the split between these two forces and bring them into a perfect, harmonious balance.
Okay, so the first force is Midah Hadin, the attribute of judgment. The best way to think about it is like the universe's code of law. It's cause and effect, it's limitation, it's structure, it's what gives everything form and a boundary. The Zohar links it to the colors red or black, to this intense fire, and to the divine name Elohim. It's powerful, it's absolutely necessary, but it's also incredibly severe. And then you have the counterforce, Midah HaRachamim, the attribute of mercy. This is the complete opposite. It's infinite, boundless flow. It's pure giving. It's compassion. It is life itself. Its symbol is this radiant white light, and its name is the holiest one, YHVH. Rachamim is the source of all blessing, and it's always just trying to expand and give. So, here's the cosmic problem, right? What happens when Din, that strict force of judgment, is just running the show on its own, completely unchecked? Well, you get a reality of pure harshness. You get limitation without any flow. You get structure, but without any life inside it. It's a state of total cosmic disconnection. The entire purpose of the Korban, the sacrifice, is to fix this exact problem, to pull down that flow of mercy and weave it right into the very fabric of judgment. So, we've laid out the problem. Now, let's look at the absolutely brilliant solution. This is where we get into the real mechanics of this incredible engine of unification. These two primary forces actually show up as two different flames. First, you have the lower flame, that intense blue-black or red fire we saw ignite. That's the fire of Din, or Gevura, which means severity. Its job is to consume the physical part of the offering. But then above it, in the spiritual realm, there's the upper flame. It's a radiant white fire of Rachimim, or Chesed, loving-kindness. It doesn't consume. Its job is to receive. So the process starts with the input, the Korban. This is what awakens that lower flame of Din, which breaks down its physical form. But the key, the real magic, is what happens next. That rising smoke, the Ashan, it's not waste. It's the transmission signal. It carries the refined spiritual essence upwards, literally acting as a bridge to connect the lower world of judgment with the upper world of mercy. And this connection is what allows for the final incredible step, integration, or yichud, total union.
I mean, the Zohar just comes right out and says it. The whole goal is to literally change the nature of that lower force. The intense, consuming red of judgment gets alchemically sweetened and is transformed into the radiant, life-giving white of mercy. So the point was never to appease some harsh force, but to elevate it, to transform it into its absolute highest expression.
Now, this whole process of unification, this meeting of the smoke with the upper realms, it doesn't just create some general warm and fuzzy feeling. No, it awakens a very specific and unbelievably powerful supernal frequency. It's a spiritual channel represented by the number 13.
And these are the 13 attributes of mercy. In Kabbalah, these are 13 metaphorical channels of the deepest, most profound divine flow you can imagine. When the fragrance of that refined offering, carried up by the smoke, reaches the highest realms, it cracks open these channels. This represents the complete sweetening of all harsh judgment. And what's so crucial to get here is that this physical action on an altar down here has a direct mechanical and powerful effect on spiritual reality up there. It literally opens the floodgates for blessing to pour back down into our world.
But here's the catch. This incredible cosmic engine, it doesn't just run on its own. It's not automatic. It actually requires a perfectly synchronized, three-part human interface to function correctly. You need a triad of specific intentions and actions, all working together to operate the machine.
And here's the blueprint for the operating team. First, you've got the Kohanim, the priests. They represent the right side, the Sephirah of Chesed, or loving kindness. Their job is the physical action, getting the flow started. Then, on the left, you have the Leviim, the Levites. They represent Gevurah, strength, the fifth Sephirah. Their role is to sing and play music, to actually arouse the powerful energies needed for this transformation. And then, crucially, in the center, you have Yisrael, the Israelites. They embody Tiferet, which is harmony. Their prayer is the focused intention that acts as the central axis, balancing and unifying these two opposing forces.
Without this perfect three-part harmony, the whole machine would just overload. That consuming fire of din would just rage out of control. But when these three roles work in perfect concert, the Zohar says the result is shalom, peace. And we're not talking about a static, boring peace. This is a dynamic, vibrant equilibrium. It's a state where the awesome power of judgment is perfectly balanced and integrated with the infinite flow of mercy, allowing the entire cosmos to function and life to flourish.
Okay, now let's try to translate all of this into a language we use every single day. To really get the genius of this system, we can reimagine it, not as an ancient ritual, but as a really sophisticated form of cosmic technology.
First things first, every system needs an input, right? So the Qurban, the offering, that's your raw data packet. It's the physical matter, plus the human intention, all bundled together and being uploaded into the system to be processed.
Next, that data packet hits the main processor. The lower consuming flame of din works like a CPU. It analyzes and deconstructs the raw data. But it also acts as a firewall, burning away any impurities or, malware, making sure only the pure, refined essence is ready for transmission.
So how does that purified data get where it's going? Well, the smoke, the ash shan, that's your uplink signal. That's your Wi-Fi, your fiber optic cable. It's the medium that converts the processed data from a physical state on the local machine, the altar, into a non-physical data stream that's now traveling to the main server.
And finally, that signal reaches its destination. The upper, white flame of Rachamim, that's the cloud. It receives this refined data stream and integrates it into the master source code of reality itself. This integration triggers a system-wide update, resolving all the conflicts and establishing a state of shalom, a stable, harmonious operating system. It's a perfect, brilliant feedback loop.
You know, this universal pattern is so fundamental, we can even frame it in another, maybe even more accessible way. Let's think about it like it's a video game.
Okay, for the younger generation, or hey, anyone who's young at heart, picture this. Level 1 starts. Your quest is to bring an item, your intentions, your efforts, your carbon, and place it into the transformation portal, which is the magical fire of the altar.
But the portal doesn't just destroy your item. You see it start processing, and then it transforms your offering into this pure, shimmering beam of energy. That beam, the Ashan, shoots straight from the portal right up into the Sky Palace, powering up the heavens.
And when that energy beam makes a successful connection with the Sky Palace, you hear that amazing sound, achievement unlocked, cosmic harmony. The connection is complete. And as your reward, a shower of new blessings and power-ups starts downloading from the sky, enriching your world and leveling you up for the next quest.
So this ancient technology, whether we see it as engineering or as a game, it reveals this universal pattern that brings it all right back to us. It asks a really profound question. in our own lives today, what's the raw input that we can offer? What's the sacrifice of our time, our ego, our effort that we can place on our own personal altar to transform the harshness of judgment into the flow of mercy in our relationships, in our work, in our world?
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pradesh. We really hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.